Shalom Yom Shalishi. Good Tuesday, everyone. Today is the third day of the week and time for TMT 10-Minute Tuesday. Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 1, verse 9 through 13. Pertaining to the third day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. Verse 10. And God called to the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was tov, it was good. Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 12, and the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Note that God spoke a word to the earth, and the earth brought forth that word. Verse 13, and the evening and the morning were the third day. According to Genesis chapter 1, verse 9 through 13. This is that third day, Tuesday, Shalishi, the third day of creation week. The day that God spoke a word to the Eretz, the good ground, the earth. It was an appointed time word, only given on this day, the third day. I need you to put on your spiritual eyes and ears for this, and let's glean. On the third day, the waters that were under heaven, not the waters, the word that was in heaven, but the waters that were on earth, the Eretz, washing, preparing, or the third day revelation of what was hidden, planted by the Lord, awaiting to be brought forth, raised up. The word says that it was on the third day when the waters were gathered together into one place. For the appointed time has come for the dry, fertile land to reveal something that was planted by God, hidden within it. The appointed time of the seed, the promise, the word can now finally be brought forth. Notice that this seed, planting of the Lord, this word of God that was spoken into the earth, could not come forth before its appointed time. The seed had to wait for the waters, the washing of the word, to finish preparing the Eretz, the fertile good ground, before it could rise up and bring forth fruit, some 30, 60, or 100-fold. In the meantime, that promise had to lay dormant. It had to wait for its change to come. And then, suddenly, at the appointed time, not our time, but God's appointed time, not by our word, but by the word that proceeds from the mouth of God. That's when the power of the third day would speak to the waters to finish its work, so that the fertile land, the prepared land, the Eretz, could bring forth the seed of promise. See, that word, that promise was only hidden for a season. But just like the waters that covered the earth, so does the waters of the word cover us, preparing us for the big reveal. Even the seed of the Spirit, it has instruction, it has Torah, but it can only come forth if it's been planted into good ground, not stony ground, not thorny. It has to have the word wash it. It has to have the waters of the word cover it, prepare it before it could rise. That word will accomplish whatever God sent it into good ground with instruction, with Torah to do in you and to do in me. If God has put a seed of promise into you, you are Eretz. You are the earth. And the waters are the word of God that prepares you for the promise of God. We have to become good ground in order for the promise of God to produce the fruit in which it was sent inside you to produce. Then at the appointed time of the Lord, not ours, when we want things to come to pass, no, His word, at His voice, His appointed time, then and only then will that seed be brought forth, whatever it might be. So let the word of God wash and prepare you so that you can become good, fertile ground, that the seed of the Spirit, God's promise in you, can come forth and produce good fruit. Whose seed, remember, the fruit has seed within itself, reproducing itself. Your promise will reproduce in someone else. So let patience have its fertilizing, perfecting, preparing way in you. If God said it, His seed, the planting of the Lord, His promise, His word will not return void. It will produce much fruit, just like Yeshua said. This has been 10 Minute Tuesday.